Making it the country now.
I never wear.
She's 18, I think, a senior now. Setting up the country now.
People just took those seats and a lady just said that no one was sitting there, but people just took the seats.
Okay, well, there's one seat here.
I'm not getting it.
And one seat here. So.
But Dad, you need that seat.
No, I don't need it. Annie.
Dad, it didn't start.
Shirley thought you didn't carry an occupation as watering the flowers. It's rather Milton's duty than yours, especially when such intellectual pleasures await you. Your German grammar is here. Pray, open it to page 15 and we will repeat yesterday's lesson.
But I don't like German. It isn't at all a becoming language. I know perfectly well that I look quite plain after my German lesson.
No, how weighted your guardian is that you should improve yourself in every way. He laid particular stress on your German as he was leaving for town yesterday. Indeed, he always lays stress on your German as he's leaving for town.
Uncle Jack is so very serious. Sometimes he's so serious that I think he cannot be quite well.
Your guardian enjoys the best of health in his gravity of demeanors, especially to be commended when so comparatively young as he is. I know nothing of higher sense of duty and responsibility.
I suppose that is why he often looks a little bored when we three are together.
Cecily, I am surprised at you. Mr. Worthing has many troubles in his life. I don't merriment and triviality would be out of place in his conversation. You must remember that constant anxiety about that unfortunate young man, his brother Ernest.
I wish Uncle Jack would allow that unfortunate young man, his brother Earnest, to come down here and visit us. I think we might have a good influence over him, Miss Grissom. I know you would. You know German and geology and things of that sort influence a man very much.
I don't think that I could produce any effect on a character of his own brother's admission that irretrievably weak and vacillating. I'm not sure I desire to reclaim him. I'm not in favor of this modern mania for turning bad people into good people at a moment's notice. As a man sows, so shall he reap. Oh, you must put away your diary, Cecily. I really don't see why you should have one at all.
I keep a diary, Miss Grissom, in order to enter the wonderful secrets of my life. If I didn't write them down, I should probably forget all about them.
Memory, my dear Cecily, is the diary we all carry about with us.
Yes, but it usually chronicles the things that have never happened and couldn't possibly have happened. I believe that memory is responsible for nearly all of the 3-volume novels that Moody sends us.
Don't speak slightly of the 3-volume novel, Cecily. I wrote one myself in earlier days.
Did you really, Miss William? How wonderfully clever you are. I hope it did not end happily. I hate novels that end happily. They depress me so much.
The good ended happily, the bad unhappily. That is what fiction means.
I suppose so. And was your novel ever published?
Alas, no. The manuscript was unfortunately abandoned. I used the word in the sense of lost or mislaid. Oh, back to your work, child. These speculations are profitless.
But I think Dr. Chasuble coming up through the garden.
Dr. Chasuble? This is indeed a pleasure.
How are we this morning, Miss Prism? You are, I trust, well.
Oh, Miss Prism has just complained of a slight headache. I thought it was so much good for a short stroll in the park, Dr. Chasuble.
Cecily! I have not mentioned anything about a headache.
Oh, I know that, Miss Prism, but I felt instinctively that you did. Indeed, that is what I was thinking about, and not my German when the rector came in.
I hope, Cecily, you are not inattentive.
Oh, I'm afraid I am.
Oh, that is strange. Were I fortunate enough to be Miss Prism's pupil, I would hang upon her lips. And Mr. Worthing, I suppose, has not returned from town yet?
We do not expect him back till Monday afternoon.
Ah, yes, he usually likes to spend his Sundays in London. He is not one of those whose sole aim is enjoyment. As by all accounts, that unfortunate young man that his brother seems to be. But I must not disturb Egeria and her pupil any longer.
Egeria? Doctor, my name is Letitia.
Letitia, like Latin for joy.
I think, dear doctor, I will have a stroll with you after all. Oh, I feel I have a slight headache. A walk might do it some good.
With pleasure, Miss Prism, with pleasure. Perhaps we'll go as far as the schools and back.
That would be delightful. Cecily, you will read your political economy in my absence. But in the chapter on the fall of the rupee, you may omit. It is somewhat too sensational. Even these metallic problems have their melodramatic sides.
Horrid political economy. Horrid geography. Horrid German.
Mr. Ernest Worthing's just driven over from the station. He's brought his luggage with him.
Mr. Ernest Worthing, B4, the Albany W. Uncle Jack's brother. Did you tell him Mr. Worthing was in London?
Yes, miss. He seemed very much disappointed. But I mentioned that you and Miss Prism were in the garden, and he seemed very anxious to talk to you privately for a moment.
And tell Mr. Worthing to come out here. I suppose you'd better talk to the housekeeper about a room for him.
Yes, miss.
I've never met any really wicked man before. I'm a little frightened. I'm so afraid he will look just like everyone else. He does.
You are my little cousin Cecily, I am sure.
You, sir, are under some strange mistake. I am not little. In fact, I believe I'm more than usually tall for my age. But I am your cousin Cecily. You, I see from Rocada. Uncle Jack's brother, my cousin Ernest, my wicked cousin Ernest.
Oh, I am not really wicked at all, cousin Cecily. You mustn't think that I am wicked.
If you're not, then you're certainly behaving in a very inexcusable manner. I hope you've not been leading a double life, pretending to be wicked and really being good all the time. That would be hypocrisy.
Of course I have been rather reckless.
I'm glad to hear
In
it.
fact, now that you mention the subject, I have been very bad in my own small way.
Oh, I don't think you should be so proud of that. Though I am sure it must have been very pleasant.
It's much pleasanter being here with you.
I can't understand how you're here at all. Uncle Jack won't be back till Monday afternoon.
That is a great disappointment. I am obliged to go by the first train Monday morning. I have an appointment that I am anxious to miss.
Couldn't you miss it anywhere but in London?
The appointment is in London.
Well, I know, of course, how important it is not to keep a business engagement, but I still think you should wait till Uncle Jack arrives. I know he wanted to speak to you about your emigrating.
About my what?
You're emigrating. He has gone up to buy your outfit.
Well, I certainly wouldn't let Jack buy my outfit. He has no taste in neckties at all.
Oh, I don't know about a necktie. Uncle Jack is sending you to Australia.
Australia? I'd sooner die.
Well, he's in a dinner on Wednesday night. But you'd have to choose between this world, the next world, and Australia.
Ah, well, the accounts I've received from Australia and the next world aren't particularly encouraging. This world is good enough for me, Cousin Cecily.
Yes, but are you good enough for it?
That I am afraid I am not. That is why I want you to reform me. You might make that your mission if you don't mind, Cousin Cecily.
I'm afraid I have no time this afternoon.
Then would you mind me reforming myself this afternoon?
It is rather romantic of you, but I think you should try.
I will. I feel better already.
You are good. What?
That is because I'm hungry.
Oh, how thoughtless of me. I should have remembered that when one is going to lead an entirely new life, one requires regular and wholesome meals.
May I have a buttonhole first? I never have any appetite unless I have a buttonhole first.
A martini.
No, I'd sooner have a pink rose.
Why?
Because, Cecily, you are like a pink rose.
Oh, I don't think it was right for you to talk to me that way. Miss Prism never says such things.
And Miss Prism is a short-sighted old lady. You are the prettiest girl I've ever seen.
Miss Prism says that all good looks are a snare.
They are a snare that any sensible man would like to be caught in.
Oh, I don't think I would care to catch a sensible man. I wouldn't know what to talk to him about.
You are too much alone, dear Dr. Chasuble. You should get married. You don't seem to realize that by persistently remaining single, a man converts himself into a permanent, public temptation. They should be more careful. This very celibacy leads weak our vessels astray.
But is a man not equally attractive when married?
No married man is attractive, except to his wife.
And often I've been told not even to her.
That depends on the intellectual sympathies of the woman. Maturity can be depended on. Oh, ripeness can be trusted. Young women are green. Oh, I've spoken horticulturally. My metaphor was drawn from fruits. Oh, but where is Cecily?
Perhaps she followed us to the schools and back. Mr. Worthing, I trust this garb of woe does not betoken some terrible calamity.
My brother,
More shameful deaths and extravagance.
dead,
Your brother Ernest, dead?
quite dead.
What a lesson for him. I trust he will profit by it.
Mr. Worthing, I offer you my sincere condolences.
Poor Ernest. He had many faults, but it is a sad, sad blow.
Very sad indeed. Were you with him at the end?
No, he died abroad in Paris. In fact, I had a telegram last night from the manager of the Grand Hotel. A severe chill, it seems.
As a man sows, so shall he reap.
Charity, dear Miss Prism, charity. None of us are perfect. I myself am peculiarly susceptible to drafts. Will the internment take place here?
No, he seemed to have expressed a desire to be buried in Paris.
Paris? I fear that hardly points to any very serious state of mind at the last. You would no doubt wish me to make some slight allusion to this tragic domestic affliction next Sunday. My sermon on the meaning of the manna in the wilderness can be adapted to almost any occasion. Joyful, or as in the present case, distressing. I have preached it at harvest celebrations, christenings, confirmations, days of humiliation, and festal days.
Really?
The last time I delivered it was at the cathedral, as a charity sermon. on behalf of the Society for the Prevention of Discontent among the Upper Orders.
Actually, what
The bishop who was present was quite struck by the analogies that I drew.
Oh! That reminds me. You mentioned christenings, I think, Dr. Chasuble. I suppose you know how to christen, all right? I mean, of course, you are continually christening, aren't you?
It is, I regret to say, one of the rector's most constant duties in his parish. I have often spoken to the poorer classes on the subject, but they don't seem to know what thrift is.
But is there any particular victim whom you had in mind, Mr. Worthing? Your brother was, I believe, unmarried, was he not?
People who live entirely for pleasure usually are.
But it is not for any child, dear doctor. I am very fond of children. No, the fact is, I would like to be christened myself. This afternoon, if you have nothing better to do.
But surely, Mr. Worthing, you have been christened before.
I don't remember anything about it.
Well, have you any grave doubts on the subject?
I certainly intend to have. Of course, I don't know if the thing would bother you in any way, or if you think I'm a little too old now.
Not at all. The sprinkling or indeed the immersion of adults is a perfectly canonical practice.
Immersion?
You need have no apprehension. The sprinkling is all that is necessary, or indeed I think advisable. Our weather is very changeable. At what hour would you wish the ceremony performed?
Oh, I might trot round about 5, that would suit you.
Perfectly, perfectly. In fact, I have 2 similar ceremonies to perform at that time. The case of twins that occurred on one of the outlying cottages on your own estate. Poor Jenkins the carter, a most hard-working...
No, I don't see much fun in being christened along with other babies. It would be childish. Would 5:30 do?
Admirably, admirably. And now, Mr. Worthing, I will not intrude on a house of sorrow any longer. I would merely beg of you not to be too bowed down by grief. What seems to us bitter trials are often blessings in disguise.
This seems to me to be a blessing of an extremely obvious kind.
Oh, Uncle Jack! I am happy to see you back. Oh, but what horrid clothes you put on.
Cecily?
My child.
Uncle Jack, what is the matter? Do look happy. You look as though you had a toothache. And now that's such a surprise for you. Who do you think is in the dining room? Your brother, Earnest. Your brother Earnest arrived nearly half an hour ago.
What nonsense! I haven't got a brother!
Oh, Uncle Jack, don't say that. However badly he may have behaved to you in the past, he is still your brother. Could you be so heartless as to disown him? I will tell him to come out here, and you will shake hands with him, won't you, Uncle Jack?
These are very joyful tidings.
After we'd all been resigned to his loss, his sudden return seems to be particularly distressing.
My brother's in the dining room. I don't know what it all means. I think it's perfectly absurd. Gwen!
Brother John, I've come down from town to tell you that I'm very sorry for the trouble I have given you, and intend to live a better life in the future.
Oh, Uncle Jack, you're not going to refuse your own brother's hand.
Nothing will do to take his hand. I think his coming down is disgraceful. He knows perfectly well why.
Uncle Jack, do be nice. There is some good in everyone. Ernest was just telling me of his poor invalid friend, Mr. Bunbury.
Bunbury? Well, I won't have a talking about Bunbury, not anything else. This makes me perfectly frantic.
Of course, I admit all the faults were on my side, but I must say, Brother John's coldness to me is peculiarly painful.
Uncle Jack, if you do not take hands with Ernest a second, I will never forgive you.
Never forgive me?
Never, never, never.
Well, this is the last time I shall ever do it.
Oh, it's pleasant, is it not, to see so perfect a reconciliation? I think we might leave the 2 brothers alone.
Cecily, you will come with us.
Oh, certainly, Miss Prism. My little task of reconciliation is over.
You have done a beautiful action today, dear child.
We must not be premature in our judgments.
I feel very happy.
Algy! You young scoundrel, you must get out of this place as soon as possible. I don't allow any Bunburying here.
Mr. Ernest, things in the room next to you, sir. I suppose that's all right.
What?
The luggage, sir. I put it in the room next to you.
Here's the luggage.
Yes, sir. 3 portmanteaus, a dressing case, 2 hat boxes, and a large luncheon basket.
I'm afraid I can stay for no longer than a week this time.
Mariam, order the dog cart at once. Mr. Earnest has been suddenly called back to town.
Yes, sir.
What a fearful lie you are, Jack. I haven't been called back to town.
Yes, you have.
I haven't heard anyone call me.
Your duty as a gentleman called you back.
I have never let my duty as a gentleman interfere with my pleasures in the smallest degree.
I can quite understand that.
Well, Cecily is a darling.
You wanted to talk of Miss Cardew like that? I don't like it.
Well, I don't like your clothes. You look perfectly ridiculous in them. Why on earth don't you go up and change? It is perfectly childish of you to be in deep mourning for a man who was actually staying at your house for a week. I call it grotesque.
You are certainly not staying with me for a whole week. As a guest or anything else, you've got to leave by the 4:05 train.
No, I won't leave you so long as you are in mourning. It's so unfriendly of me. If I were in mourning, you would stay with me, I suppose. I should think it very unkind if you didn't.
Where will you go if I change my clothes?
Yes. If you don't take too long. I've never seen anyone take so long to change, and with such little result.
Well, at any rate, that is better than being always overdressed as you are.
If I am occasionally overdressed, I make up for it for being always extremely overeducated.
Everything is ridiculous! Your conduct an outrage! Your presence in my garden utterly absurd! However, you've got to catch the 4:05, and I certainly hope you'll have a pleasant journey back to town. This bunburying, as you call it, has not been a great success for you,
I think it has been a great success. I'm in love with Cecily, and that is everything. But I must find her and make arrangements for another Bunbury. Ah, there she is.
Oh, I hear they came back to water the roses. I thought you were with Uncle Jack.
He has gone down to order the dog cart for me.
Is he going to take you for a nice drive?
He's going to send me away.
So then have we got to part?
I'm afraid so. It's a very painful parting.
It is always painful to part from anyone to own a stone for such a brief space of time. The absence of old friends one can endure with equanimity, but even a momentary separation from anyone to one is just introduced is almost unbearable.
Thank you.
The dog cart is waiting, sir.
It can wait, Miriam, for 5 minutes.
Yes, miss?
I hope, Cecily, should not be offended if I state quite openly and frankly that you seem to me to be in every way the visual personification of absolute perfection.
Earnest, I think your frankness does you great credit. If you'd allow, I would like to copy remarks into my diary.
Do you really keep a diary? Why didn't you give anything to look at it?
Oh no, you see, it is simply a young boy's record of her thoughts and impressions, consequently meant for publication. When it appears in volume form, I do hope you'll order a copy. But pray, Ernest, don't stop. I delight in taking down for invitation. I have reached absolute perfection. You may go on, I'm quite ready for her. Ernest, don't cough. When one is dictating, one should speak fluently and not cough. Besides, I don't know how to spell a cough.
Cecily, ever since I dared to look upon your wonderful and incomparable beauty, I have dared to love you.
The dog cart is waiting, sir.
Tell her to come around for next week at the same hour.
Yes, sir.
Uncle Jack would be very much annoyed if he knew that you were staying till next week at the same hour.
Oh, I don't care about Jack. I don't care about anyone in the whole world but you. I love you, Cecily. Will you marry me?
Of course, you silly boy. We've been engaged for nearly 3 months.
For nearly 3 months.
Yes, it will be exactly 3 months on Thursday.
But how did we ever become engaged?
Well, ever since Uncle Jack first confessed to us that he had a younger brother who was very wicked and bad, you of course have become a chief topic of conversation between myself and Miss Prison. And of course, the gentleman who's often talked about is always very attractive. One feels there must be something in him. I dare say it's foolish of me, Ernest, but I fell in love with you.
Darling, and when was the engagement actually settled?
On the 14th of February last, worn out for entire ignorance of my existence, I was determined to settle the matter one way or another. And after a long struggle with myself, I accepted you. The next day I bought this ring in your name, and this little bangle with a true lover's knot, which I promise you always to wear.
Did I give you this? It is very pretty, isn't it?
Yes, Ernest, you've wonderful good taste. It's the excuse I've always given for your leading such a bad life. And here's the book in which I keep all of your dear letters.
My letters? But my own sweet Cecily, I have never written you any letters.
You need hardly remind me of that, Ernest. I remembered it only all too well that I was forced to write them for you. I always wrote 3 times a week, and sometimes oftener.
Oh, do let me read them, Cecily.
Oh, no, I couldn't possibly. They would make you far too conceited. The 3 I wrote after I'd broken off the engagement are so sweet, and so badly spelled, that even now I can't read them without crying just a little.
But was our engagement ever broken off?
Of course it was. You may see the entry if you like. Today, I broke off my engagement with Ernest. I feel it better to do so. The weather still continues charming.
Why did you ever break off the engagement? What had I done? I had done nothing. I am very hurt to hear that you have broken off the engagement, Cecily, particularly when the weather was so charming.
It would hardly have been really serious if I hadn't broken it off at least once. But I forgave you before the week was out.
What a perfect angel you are, Cecily. You'll never break off the engagement again, will you?
Oh, I don't think I could now that I've actually met you. Besides, there's always that question of your name.
Yes, of course.
Oh, don't laugh at me, darling, but it's always been a girlish dream of mine to love someone with the name of Earnest. There's something in that name that seems to inspire absolute confidence. I pity any poor married woman whose husband is not named Earnest.
Do you mean to say you could love me if I had some other name?
But what name?
Oh, any name, like Algernon, for instance.
I don't like the name of Algernon.
Can't see why you should object to the name of Algernon. It's not a bad name at all. In fact, it's quite an aristocratic name. Half the chaps who end up in bankruptcy court are called Algernon. But seriously, Cecily, if my name was Algy, couldn't you love me?
I might respect you, Ernest. I might admire your character, but I feel I can never give you my undivided attention.
Your rector here, Cecily, I suppose, is thoroughly practiced in the rites and ceremonials of the church?
Oh, yes, Dr. Chasuble is a most learned man.
I must see him right away on a most important christening.
Oh?
I mean a most important business. I shan't be away for more than half an hour.
Considering that we have been engaged since February 14th, and that I only met you for the first time today, I think it is incredibly hard that you should leave me for such a long period of time as half an hour. Couldn't you make it 20 minutes?
I'll be back in no time.
Oh, what an impetuous boy he is. I must introduce his proposal into my diary.
Mrs. Fairfax just called to see Mr. Worthing on very important business, Miss Fairfax states.
Isn't Mr. Worthing in his library?
I saw him go over in the direction of the rectory some time ago.
He will be back soon, no doubt. Ask Miss Fairfax to come out here, and you may bring tea.
Yes, miss.
Miss Fairfax, I suppose one of the good elderly women who helped Uncle Jack in some of his philanthropic work in London.
Miss Fairfax.
Oh, pray let me introduce myself. My name is Cecily Cardew.
Cecily Cardew. Oh, what a very sweet name. Something tells me we're going to be great friends. I like you already more than I can say. My first impressions of people are always right.
How nice of you to like me so much after we've known each other for such a comparatively short time. Pray sit down.
I may call you Cecily, may I not?
Oh, with pleasure.
And you'll always call me Gwendolyn, won't you?
If you wish.
Then that is all quite settled, is it not?
I hope so.
Perhaps this might be a favourable opportunity for my mentioning who I am. My father is Lord Bracknell. You have never heard of Pop, I suppose?
I don't think so.
Outside the family circle, Pop, I'm glad to say, is almost entirely unknown. I think that it is quite the way it should be, Cecily. Mamma, whose views on education are remarkably strict, has brought me up to be extremely short-sighted. So would you mind my looking at you through my glasses?
Not at all. I'm very fond of being looked at.
Oh, you are here on some short visit, I suppose?
Oh, no, I live here.
Really? Your mother, no doubt, or some other female relative of advanced years, must reside here also.
Oh, no, I have no mother, nor any relations. I am Mr. Worthing's ward.
Mr. Worthing's ward? Oh, he never mentioned to me he had a ward. How secretive of him. Oh, he grows more interesting hourly. I'm not sure, however, that the news inspires me with feelings of unmixed delight. Oh, I am very fond of you, Cecily. I've liked you ever since I met you. But I feel bound to state that now that I know that you are Mr. Worthing's ward, I wish that you were perhaps just a little bit older than you appear to be. Oh, and not so quite very alluring in appearances. In fact, if I may speak candidly.
Oh, pray do. I feel that whenever anyone has anything bad to say, one should always be quite candid.
Oh, to speak with perfect candor, Cecily. I wish you were fully 42, and more than usually plain for your age. Earnest has a strong, upright nature, but even men of the strongest moral character are still extremely susceptible to the physical charms of others.
I beg your pardon, did you say Ernest?
Yes.
Oh, but it is not Mr. Ernest who is my guardian. It is his brother, his elder brother.
Ernest never mentioned to me he had a brother.
I'm afraid to say they've not been on good terms for quite some time.
Ah, that of course explains it. You are quite sure that it is not Mr. Earnest Worthing who is your brother?
Oh, quite sure. In fact, I'm going to be his.
I beg your pardon.
Dearest Gwendolyn, there is no reason why I should make a secret of it too. Our little county newspaper should have chronicled the fact early next week, but Mr. Worthing and I are engaged to be married.
I beg your pardon, for he is engaged to me. The announcement will appear in the Morning Post by Saturday at the latest.
You must have some misconception. Alice proposed to me exactly 10 minutes ago.
That is certainly very strange, for he asked me to be his wife yesterday afternoon at 5:30. Oh, I'm so sorry, dear Cecily, if the news disappoints you any, but I'm afraid I have the prior claim.
It would distress me more than I can tell you, dear Gwendolyn, if it caused you any mental or physical anguish. But I feel bound to point out that since he proposed you, he has clearly changed his mind.
If the poor boy has been entrapped into any foolish promise, I shall see it as my duty to rescue him at once, and with a firm hand.
Whatever unfortunate entanglement my dear boy may have gotten into, I will never reproach him with it after we are married.
Do you allude to me, Miss Cardew, as an entanglement? You are presumptuous. On an occasion of this kind, it becomes more than more duty to speak one's mind. It becomes a pleasure.
Do you suggest, Miss Fairfax, that I entrapped Alice into an engagement? How dare you? This is no time for the shallow mask of manners. When I see a spade, I call it a spade.
Oh, I'm so very glad to say that I've never seen a spade. Obviously, our social affairs are widely different.
Shall I like taking as usual, miss?
Yes, as usual.
There are many interesting walks in the vicinity, Miss Cardew.
Oh, yes, a great many, Miss Fairfax. From the top of one of the hills, one can quite see 5 counties.
5 counties? I don't think I should like that. I hate crowds.
I suppose that is why you live in town.
Quite a well-kept garden you have here, Miss Cardew.
So glad you like it, Miss Fairfax.
I'd no idea there were any flowers in the country.
Oh, yes. Flowers are as common here, Miss Fairfax, as people are in London. May I offer you some tea?
Thank you.
Sugar,
Oh no, thank you. Sugar's no longer fashionable.
cake, or bread and butter.
Bread and butter, please. Cake is rarely seen in the best houses nowadays.
Hand that to Miss Fairfax.
You have filled my tea with lumps of sugar, and though I most distinctly asked for bread and butter, you have given me cake.
I am known for the gentleness of my disposition, and the extraordinary sweetness of my nature, but I warn you, Miss Cardew, you may go too far.
To save my dear, trusting boy from the machinations of any other girl, through no lengths which I would not go.
From the moment I saw you, I distrusted you. I felt you were false and deceitful. I am no deceit in such matters. My first impressions of people are invariably right.
It seems to me, Miss Fairfax, that I am trespassing on your valuable time. No doubt with many other calls of a similar character to make in the neighborhood.
Gwendolen!
Oh, Ernest!
Darling!
A moment. May I ask, are you engaged to that young lady?
To dear little Cecily? Of course not. What could have put such an idea into your pretty little head?
Oh, thank you. You may.
Oh, I knew there must be some misunderstanding. The gentleman whose arm is at present round your waist is my dear guardian, Mr. John Worthing.
I beg your pardon.
This is Uncle Jack.
Jack!
Oh! Mrs. Anne.
My own one.
A moment. Are you engaged to be married to that young lady?
To what young lady? Good heavens, Gwendolen!
Good heavens, Gwendolyn! To Gwendolyn!
Of course not. What could have put such an idea into your pretty little head?
Thank you, you may.
I felt there was some slight error, Miss Cardew, for the gentleman who is now embracing you is my dear cousin, Mr. Algernon Moncrief.
Are you called Algernon?
Can I deny it?
Oh!
Is your name really John?
I could deny it if I liked. I could deny anything if I liked. But my name certainly is John. It has been John for years.
Gross deception has been practiced on the both of us.
My poor, wounded Cecily.
My sweet, wrong Gwendolyn.
Oh, you will call me sister, will you not?
There is just one question I would like to be allowed to ask my God.
What an admirable idea. There is just one question I have to put to you, Mr. Worthing. Where is your brother Ernest? We are both engaged to be married to your brother Ernest, so it is of some importance that we know where your brother Ernest is at present.
Gwendolen, Cecily, it is very painful for me to be forced to speak the truth, but I tell you quite frankly that I have no brother Ernest. I have no brother at all.
No brother at all?
None.
Not even one of any kind?
Never, not even of any kind.
Oh, it seems to me that neither of us is engaged to be married to anybody.
It is not a pleasant place for a young girl to find herself in.
Oh, let us retire to the house. They will hardly venture to follow us there.
Yes, men are so cowardly, aren't they?
This ghastly state of things is what you call bunburying, I suppose.
Yes, the most wonderful bunbury I've had in my whole life.
The only small satisfaction I have in the whole of this wretched business is that your friend Bunbury is quite exploded. And a very good thing, too.
Your brother is a little off color, isn't he, Jack? And not a bad thing either.
As for your conduct toward Miss Cardew, I must say that you're taking it a sweet, simple, innocent girl like that is quite inexcusable. To say nothing of the fact that she is my wife.
I can see no possible defense of your deceiving a brilliant, clever, thoroughly experienced young lady like Miss Fairfax. To say nothing of the fact that she's my cousin.
I want to be engaged to Gwendolen, that is all. I love her.
I simply want to be engaged to Cecily, that is all. I adore her.
There is certainly no chance of your marrying Miss Cardew.
Well, I don't see any likelihood, Jack, of you and Miss Fairfax being united.
Well, that is no business of yours.
If it was my business, I wouldn't talk about it. It is very vulgar to talk about one's business. Only stockbrokers and people like that do it, and then merely at dinner parties.
How can you sit there, calmly eating muffins when you're in this horrible trouble? I can't make it out. You seem to me to be perfectly heartless.
Well, I can't eat muffins in an agitated manner. What would probably get on my cuffs? One should eat muffins quite calmly. It is the only way to eat them.
I've said it's perfectly heartless to eat muffins at all, under the circumstances.
When I'm in trouble, eating is the only thing that consoles me. At the present moment, I am eating because I am unhappy. Besides, I am quite fond of muffins.
Algernon, I was thinking this would go.
You can't possibly ask me to go without having some dinner. It's absurd. I never go without my dinner. Nobody ever does except for vegetarians and people like that. Besides, I've just made arrangements with Dr. Toswell to be christened at 5:45 under the name of Earnest.
My dear fellow, the sooner you give up that nonsense, the better. I made arrangements with Dr. Chasuble to be christened myself at 5:30, and I naturally will take the name of Earnest. One of them would wish it. We can't both be christened Earnest. It's absurd. Besides, I have a perfect right to be christened if I like. There is no evidence at all that I've ever been christened by anyone. You have been christened already.
Yes, but I haven't been christened for years.
Yes, but you have been christened. That's the important thing.
You can hardly have forgotten that someone very closely connected to you was very nearly carried off this weekend by a severe chill.
Yes, but you said yourself that a severe chill was not hereditary.
It used to be, I know, but I dare say it is now. Science is always coming up with wonderful improvements and things.
Algernon, I've told you to go. I don't want you here. Why don't you go?
I haven't quite finished my tea, as there's still one muffin left.